Hey, yo, whoa, we are back with another episode of Ski's Opinion with your gracious, your humble host. Who that is, people? Ski. That's right. This is the show about everything and nothing at all, people. So let's get to it. Let's get into the show. Here we go. Here we go. First topic of the day. First topic of the day is I will put this to be my first topic of the day because it's what I want to talk about right now, right, people? And that is the beef that is brewing or has been brewing, sounds like, between 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp. For you guys who don't know who Courtney Kemp is, she is the writer on the show's Power, or the writer and creator of the Power universe, right? Along with 50. But the argument is seeming to start to steam up to the point to where it looks like Courtney may be feeling slighted to a certain extent, right, people? I think that she feeling like people are making this show more about it being 50's show than it being hers. And it's some back and forth right now about who controls the Power universe, you can say, right? So, I would say 50 controls it because that's the way that it's headed. It's gearing towards 50 Cent controlling the entire show, the entire series or whatever they got going on, however they're doing it, through stars or whatever. The Power Universe. It's like 7 shows now, right? But it sounds like she's getting pushed out to a certain extent, it sounds like, for me. And then you get 50 explaining, where Courtney, was the writer, right? And she brought the show to him. But I remember a while ago, I'm talking about this. She brought the show to him to sell the show, and she brought the show to him for him to be Ghost, I think. She wrote him with being Ghost in that. So he didn't want to do that because he couldn't, because of, what you would call that, not financial, but obligations, other prior obligations with his business, right? So 50 couldn't do it. So he picked Amari to do it. And then said, okay, to pitch it to them, he'll be a part of it. But he wanted to be a producer or whatever, in the background. But he pitched the show and he became a character, so I became. But it sounds like she was gonna kill Amari off, which is Ghost, was gonna kill Ghost off when they killed Kanan. So she said, no, he has to die. Ghost gotta die, So there was a back and forth about that. He's like, no, how the show going is not gonna sit well with the people. I'm telling you, how they reading this, it's not gonna fare well. You mess the whole show up. And then she's like, well, something big gotta happen. Somebody gotta go. Well, kill off my character. I'll take a pay cut to be here. I don't really got the time to be here. I could actually, you don't have to be here all the time, and I can actually go do what I need to do, as 50 Cent, the artist, or whatever, right? And he can handle his business and still, give support and less support to the show. So that's why Kanan died instead. But really, Ghost was supposed to die right there. She was actually finna hurt the show, if you ask me, So I think if there's truth to that, what 50 saying, then he saved the show, And then from that point, I'm gonna say it might have been some type of shift from that point. But anyway, they're going back and forth, y'all. Courtney's speaking out. I'm gonna say for the first time, as far as speaking out against against 50, but like to the point of this is my show, right? She's stepping up and saying it's hers, or her, series. But we'll see where that goes, people, But it just seems kind of interesting, and it seems kind of, I'm gonna say, late at this stage. We can say late, right? The show that blew up and it spread it and grew all these different arms and avenues. You got Reds of Canaan just ended now. You had Power Book 2 just ended. Force just ended. Now you have two more shows. You got Legacy and you got Orange, right? So you got Tommy and Tariq, carrying on the future part, and then you go to Origins where Ghost and them started, right? Where Tommy and them started. So I think it's a little late for her to be coming out saying who controls what and what. But then I think it's a little bit distasteful also as well on 50 part to even point out that you feel like she was gonna hurt the show by making that move, which probably would have, but she didn't. She was smart enough not to make that move and listen to you, right? So we can't say she destroyed the show or would have destroyed the show because she took advice from other people on the outside looking in on her idea, right? So we'll just keep an eye on that. But I would say, I think Courtney Kemp is a great writer. I think she came up with an awesome show, that even expanded to where it did. I don't even know if she expected it to go to that point. I think that Power was just her show she was trying to sell. And I think she had other shows as well, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, I'm excited to see what's going to go on with Origins and Legacy. So I will be tuned in to the Power universe as everyone else is, Just see the finale of Raising Canaan. I mean, it's ugly, people. I don't want to say too much because I don't know if everybody saw it, but I mean, as much stuff out here on YouTube and whatever, I think everybody know what happened, Jukebox became Jukebox, y'all. And if you didn't see it, when you do see it, you know why now. All right, it wasn't just Marvin dying. I know you guys saw that part, right? But it wasn't just Marvin. Next show, we'll touch a little bit more on that dichotomy, of that whole show. That was actually a great series. So I'm gonna move on though. From there, my next topic will be Clarissa Shields. There's been a debate of people about Clarissa Shields not getting the exposure she should be getting from her boxing career. We get more exposure and more information or more stories on Clarissa's love life, right? With her situation with Pap and Remy, right? That story seems to be taking over who she is or who she has become as the quote, right? Because we can't say that. I mean, the woman just broke, I think, a record, with selling out the State Farm arena in Atlanta in this next fight that she got coming up. And we don't hear anything about that, you guys, right? We're not hearing the attendance that she bring into these events that she's having, right? We don't hear about the impact that she's having on women boxing that she is, right? You hear a lot of stuff about her and Remy and Pap and all of this BS, right? And then her contract with Win and what is going and have Paps, he still always rolls right back into Pap, right? So with that being said, it's like the shenanigans is overshadowing, right? The real reason why people are even paying attention or even paid attention, start paying attention to Clarissa Shields, right? She got a powerful story. If it's fabricated, I think most people's stories are. And it's fabricated because they want to, they want to embellish, or want it to be told the way that they want it to be told. So most stories is embellished, right? So, but I hear it's a good movie. I haven't watched it yet. I will be checking it out, people. I'm gonna give a review on that movie as well. I'm gonna start my review pretty soon. But anyway, getting back to the topic with Clarissa, I think it's a shame that the BS is overshadowing her real talent. That the BS is overshadowing the history that she is making, right? So I would say if I was in Clarissa's corner and I had her ear, so I'm gonna say this, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say that Pap has her ear right now, right? And if you do, Pap, she's so in love with you. She keeps saying how y'all in love and this and that, and her man and this and that, and she they keep throwing out this home breaker thing, which I don't 100% agree with, because Remy was looking like the effed up person at first, right? And then this scenario got spent some type of way. When Remy came out and said what she said, because she was getting bashed for messing with the battle rapper dude. But anyway, if I was Pap, I would grab Clarissa and I would tell her, listen, baby, you make your history. It's the stuff that you're doing is groundbreaking. I mean, it's going to help future generation of female boxers, right? So let's focus more on that. Let the people talk. Let them say what they're going to say or feel how they want to feel about something, right? But that don't have nothing to do with what you set out, what we setting out to do, right? And what we setting out to do with you is make history, right? So you can live up to that name, quote, greatest woman of all time, right? In the boxing game. You can live up to that name, right? You could be, you should be honored. You could be honored to carry that name, right? So I look at it like, if he was to tell her that, and she did actually really listening to, Pap, as she says she is, that's her man, and she respects him and this and that, right? If she's really doing this, right, then I'm gonna say, then she would listen to him, what he got to say. She wouldn't just not listen, right? So I think that he need to pull her coattail. Get her brain right, get her back on her game, right? What she came into this business to do, right? The reason why you do to support your family, build a legacy, get yourself out of poverty, all the bad things you had, and eventually, get married to the man you want to be with, have kids, all the things that she set out to do. Let's just focus on that. Forget what Remy talking about and what's being said and what's going on, right? Because that's the trick back. All you did is let Remy spin y'all publicity into hers. And that's exactly what she's been doing, right? So I just wanted to say that, that I think that we as people, need to speak up and then give praise to things like Clarissa selling out the State Farm Arena or whatever and breaking a record for it, Clarissa, being a champion in several different weight classes. Clarissa, being undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know her record for sure, so don't quote me on that, right? Don't bash me. But that's what I got from that. I just say let's focus a little bit more on that, and I think it's a shame that people don't look at her accolades for what she's actually being watched for, right? It ain't because she with Pat Poose and her and Remy going back, but it's because she know how to throw them hands, right? So let's get back to that, y'all. Next topic, my last topic will be for the day is, I heard this today, right? Came across my desk and I heard people debating Michael Jackson versus Chris Brown, right? And for one, you guys, right, this is wrong on so many levels to me because they shouldn't even be compared. For one, it's two different generations. And not even just two different generations. It's two different generations that's separated by two other generations, right? So to even compare Michael Jackson and a Chris Brown is kind of crazy when you think about it like that, right? Like you would think like the concert, the tour that's going on right now, the Usher and Chris Brown thing, right? You think that that debate would be more so of the topic of conversation, but because, and like I said, you know, my brother DJ MB said what he said about him feeling like watching Chris Brown show, dancing and everything, that he's the greatest performer ever, even better than Michael Jackson. So this is called debate on the Breakfast Club, and I think all online. Can we consider Chris Brown the GOAT, right? And we say he's better than Michael. And I'm gonna say no. And I'm not saying it because of I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. I mean, I came of age listening to Chris Brown as well, you know, so, but I can give you a take on both, right? And the reason why I'm saying no. And it's not by leaps and bounds that I'm making my decision on who I feel is better. So I'm gonna say Michael Jackson because of these reasons, right? I heard MB say something about, you know, Chris Brown busting a split, coming back up, getting right back with choreography, and making up dances and coming up with new stuff and doing things that he said he felt Michael Jackson would have never been able to do. Number one, MB, I think that was dumb for you to say because, you know, Michael Jackson did invent the moonwalk. And people don't know that, you know. Ralph McDaniel, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I hate mixing up his name, but Ralph McDaniel, Dave McDaniel, something like that. He was in Shalimar with Jody Wiley and my guy, the light skinned brother. But anyway, I want to get off the topic. He made up the moonwalk. Michael Jackson learned that dance. I think he taught it to him. And Michael Jackson took that dance. Yeah, he's Michael Jackson. Boom, he done the dance and took it over the top, right? He keeps talking about Chris Brown. You know, yeah, he embodied Mike. He embodied other things too with himself and this and that. But he's embodied crump. So you keep saying with the crump thing, right? Do you not think Michael Jackson wouldn't have been able to learn how to crump? Do you not think that Michael Jackson would have been able to learn how to bust his hood, bump back up, and did right back for choreography as if he wasn't doing things like that even way back in the 70s and 80s, right? So for number one, the innovativeness is comparable, right? That's why I said it's not by leaps and bounds what I'm talking about, people, but I want y'all to understand what I'm saying and the reason why I'm saying it. I'm gonna explain it, you know. Most people just saying, I seen them at the concert dancing, and this is why, you know, and that ain't how you go over everything, right? So now we're gonna go to innovative dancing and this and that. I'm gonna say it's a close tie. I think Michael Jackson may be, I can't even say that. I'm gonna say a close tie with the dancing part, right? Now, performing, give it the performance, stage presence, right? The way you're making people feel, the emotion that you give out through the arenas that you're performing in. Now, we've seen Chris Brown, you know, give a hell of a show. Got incredible stage presence, right? And he has his people, they locked in. Forever long. If it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, Chris Brown got them and they singing the songs, they dancing, they crying. Not crying so much, but they dancing, they doing all of that, right? Well, Michael Jackson had the same thing. He has the same thing, you guys. They sing and they're doing this, but not just doing that. They're fainting. They're passing out at the mere sight of him. People are going into convulsions just by how the way he's moving, the things that he's saying, how he's gracefully going across the stage. His presence, his aura was something that was unworldly, I would say, right? Was like out of worldly. It was different the way that Mike came across right on that stage. So I'm gonna give that part to Mike, right? We're not just gonna talk about him having people fainting, this and that, right? Chris Brown has a great voice. I love the way he sings. I like his music. I like the songs that he come up with. I think they're very touchy. And as far as love making and all of that is great. Well, Michael Jackson had that too. But Michael Jackson had something that Chris Brown didn't have. Well, I haven't heard it. Michael Jackson had real songs. He had songs that touched the entire world. He had songs that had meaning to him. He talked about humanity. He talked about our suffering. They don't really care about us. It don't matter if you're black or white. So when you compare, you gotta compare to this. Like, is Chris Brown actually really touching the world, you got? Or is he touching, the United States and a certain generation of kids who probably came up from the year 2000 to now, right? I'm even going ahead and give you, I'm gonna say the year 2000 to now, right? Those kids, the millennial kids, right? But when Michael Jackson transcends 3 different decades, and now with his new movie and introducing him to a whole new genre of people, look at all these kids with that. He got the biggest movie in the world, not because of just us, you got. Y'all control the needle on things right now. The youth do. Because they go out and do everything. Yeah, we got the money to spend it, but we all spending our money to go do those things because we don't have the time to do it, right? We too busy working and trying to take care of y'all and keep a roof over your head and not go under, in this effed up economy that we have. So I'm going to say Michael Jackson. Like I said, not by far, but he has it. And the reason why he has it is way more meaningful than somebody talking about somebody dancing. Right? And the way that he said this or he done this and bust a split and came back up, right? The reason why he win is way more. He was the total package. I'm gonna say Chris is close, but he's not the total package, you guys. And that's the reason why I say Michael all day, right? That's just my interpretation of that. I'm about to get out of here, but before I do, I want to do a couple of mentions. I'm gonna start doing this. So I'll just talk about the music that Ski's listening to, right? I want to give you guys that. Maybe maybe I might be listening to something that you people want to lock into. So it's like 3 artists that I'm listening to right now, and it was 2 before this other artist just came out with an album yesterday. So I'm going to mention him first, and the reason why I'm going to mention him first is because I want everybody to go out there and support this brother and his family and support his music, because what he was doing was different, and he's just as important as everybody else, especially for the city of Chicago. Chicago stand up for this brother. FBG Duck, 6 years after his untimely death, they have released the album, Postmortem album on him, From the Heart. I've listened to this album twice already, you guys. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. The reason why I can't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I would say on some of the songs, I wish they would have did better as far as the mixing and the sound quality on some of them. But I give it an 8 because even with that, the songs are super powerful, you guys. And they're catchy. I can see people bumping this, this summer. I can see people bumping this into fall, all the way going into the winter, right? So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. FBG Duck, you know what I'm saying? Salutes my brother, RIP. Your family done you proud, with what they had at their disposal to do it, because I think that your situation kind of got messed over with all the BS and then going back and forth, right? But your album aged well because it's pretty good, it's pretty good as far as sound quality, the song, titles, commentary, everything. I am looking for the Kevin Gates song. I am looking for, I don't know, if they're gonna put out deluxe out or whatever, or extended version of this album, but there's other songs that I've heard he had that I didn't hear, and I know he gotta have more songs with Young and Dutchy and Cash and, them. So I'm just looking for a more full album, I would say. Other than that, go out and support the brother. The next two I've been listening to artists will be Finesse 210 and Hurricane Wiz. And Hurricane just came out with his album Weather in the Real. Oh my God, people. Oh my God. I would say this to all of you. Pay attention to what Hurricane Wisdom is doing. And that's to these youngsters, out here. And follow that blueprint. Because that plan that young brother laid out and what he did was great. He basically gave us the entire album before he gave us the album. But how he did it made everybody want to go hear those songs in entirety, right? Those snippets, those clips, and then the songs he threw out after, everybody went and ran and got them, the Enoughs, the Over Now, and all of that, right? The way he did that, his rollout was genius. I'm gonna say whoever he has on his team did a damn good job. And they kept us wanting more. He kept dropping snippets at the same time dropping singles. He just never let up, right? And this was right after he dropped Perfect Storm Deluxe. Then he dropped the acoustic album, of songs that he already done, but he done them live, and then he came out with these EPs, these 3-song EPs, and then singles here, and snippets on Instagram. So that's what I'm saying. Follow that blueprint, because he did. His rollout was crazy. And if he's not in the top 3 as far as, album sales this next week, I don't know what's going on. The only one I think that probably would be ahead of, I'd say top 3. But I'm gonna say he should probably be 1 or 2. And the only one I could see him probably edging him out is Pooh Shiesty. And we all know why, right? But Shiesty dropped the album too. I'm not really listening to that. I heard a couple of songs off of you guys. It's just hard for me to listen to Pooh Shiesty right now with the ridiculous decision my young brother made. And I heard he's saying some incriminating things on this album that doesn't help his case, right? So I'm not gonna support Idiocracy, or I'm not gonna support his downfall, right? But the other brother is Finesse 210. I know Finesse don't have an album out. I think he got his little tour thing going on, him and his girl Sugar. They go all around the place, they doing their thing. Finesse, continue to keep your foot on these people's neck. Make those labels understand that they made a mistake with you. And they should came back to the table to renegotiate with this brother. The caliber of rapping that Finesse is doing right now, you guys, is unmatched. I will say that. So keep looking out for Finesse, keep looking out to that. Hopefully you're finna drop a mixtape or something, pretty soon, that we can actually really grab a whole body of work of yours. But you on a climb right now, and I would say people pay attention to his blueprint as well, and maybe follow that. That will be my show for the day, people. I done ran a little bit over, more than what, I planned on being on here, but that's how it is when I'm talking to my people, right? I enjoy you guys. I really do appreciate, everybody who does tune in and support the channel. I'm gonna ask you guys, like it, follow, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. This has been another episode of Inskee's Opinion with your gracious, your humble host, who that is, people. Ski. And I'm out. Peace. Love, everybody.